Good day, class. Welcome to our virtual lecture. Last time, we talked about the history of tourism and started with the history of hospitality. Today, we will continue with our discussion on the history of hospitality. During the Egyptians' empire, groups had been united under one government ruled by a pharaoh, an Egyptian king, 3200 BC. The famous pyramids or tombs for the pharaohs became tourist attractions. People traveled to attend religious festivals. The ancient Egyptians were the first to see that food service and lodging should be provided to travelers. They were the first to begin the activity we now call tourism and hospitality. So if you're wondering where the breakfast inclusion in your hotel rooms started, it started in this era. Ancient Greek civilization began to develop about 1100 BC. They were dedicated travelers. Inns and taverns became common in ancient Greece. Restaurants in ancient Greece were often respected and served fine food. By the time Rome had conquered most of Western Europe and the Middle East, inns and taverns were established throughout the empire. In Pompeii, there are many small restaurants that are similar to the fast food restaurants at present. Romans were the first to establish the first restaurant chain. To name a few restaurant chains at present, we have McDonald's, Jollibee, and KFC. Innkeeping almost disappeared except local taverns during the Dark Ages or medieval period. Roman Catholic Church took over the job of feeding and housing travelers. The number of inns increased, although the standards of comfort and cleanliness differed in different countries and regions. In the Renaissance period, there were no restaurants or dining establishments. Concern about table manners increased. People were instructed not to put food on their plate using their fingers. This era emphasized the good hygiene of people when it comes to food handling and table manners. During the early modern period, coffee houses were built. Coffee and tea began to influence the culinary habits of Western Europe. In 1765, a man named Boulanger operated a small business in France, which sold soups and broths. These were known as restaurants, a French word which means restoratives, as soups and broths restore energy of people who are tired and weak. Cafes were developed in France. Café is the French word for coffee. During the industrial era, establishment of railroad stations became excellent locations for new hospitality businesses in England. In the 19th century, public dining was not popular. The term restaurant referred to the dining room of a hotel during this time. More luxurious hotels began to appear. The Savoy, one of the best-known hotels, was opened by Richard d'Oyly Carte. He employed two men who became famous throughout the world, César Ritz, general manager, and Auguste Escoffier, chef de cuisine. Auguste Escoffier, one of the greatest chefs of all time, known for his classic book Le Guide Culinaire and the Kitchen Brigade System. Although the modern hotel was an American invention, the Europeans contributed the European plan. More innovations occurred: custom of dining out, better methods of preserving food through canning and vacuum packing, mass feeding, and ice cream parlors. These are the notable events in the 20th century. 1921. Walter Anderson and Billy Ingraham began the White Castle hamburger chains. 1927. Marriott's Hot Shop and root beer stands opened. End of 1930. Every city had a deluxe supper club or nightclub. Corporations such as the Four Seasons, Canadian Pacific, Marriott, Hyatt, etc. increased in North America. 1990s started with recession, and the hospitality industry experienced a downturn due to the Gulf War. Pioneers in the tourism and hospitality industry, César Ritz. He became the general manager of the Savoy Hotel in London, one of the most famous and luxurious hotels in the world. The Ritz name is synonymous with refined, elegant hotels and service. Ellsworth Milton Statler, considered to be the prime hotel man of all time. He brought a high standard of comfort and convenience to the middle-class traveler at an affordable price. He was the first to put telephones and radios in every guest room with full-length mirrors, built-in closets, and a special faucet for ice water. Conrad Hilton, the biggest hotel man in the world, NY Times described as master of hotel finance. He formed the first major chain of American hotels in 1954. Thomas Cook, the professional first travel agent, founder of the first travel agency. Cook's Tour, a tour that goes to many places and stops briefly at each place. Howard Deering Johnson, pioneer of brand leveraging. The first to introduce franchising on 1930s, J. Willard Marriott. He founded the Marriott Corporation, which has continued to be an important asset to the hospitality industry. He began with a root beer stand and built it into a multi-billion-dollar industry. Ray Kroc, the most financially successful of all hospitality entrepreneurs. He founded the McDonald's Corporation. He developed several operational guidelines such as quality service, cleanliness, and value. His motto was, "Never be idle a moment." Isidore Sharp, a first-generation Canadian and founder of Four Seasons Regent Hotels, the world's largest hotel chain and a multi-million-dollar global hotel empire. Ruth Fertel, the founder of Chris Steakhouse, the largest upscale restaurant chain in the United States.